inside the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center. For those of you who are new, we'll put the lineup in the chat, and so just watch the chat and you'll see when your spot is. We're live on the YouTube with what happens to be on Monday nights anywhere in the universe. Actually, we double checked, and thanks for starting with a yawn, Mike. Always the big energy. We double checked everybody, and
sorry, my emphysema embarrasses you.
Across the galaxy, we've got possibly the greatest comedy show host to ever exist on a Monday night inside a Zoom call on, at 8 p.m. Specifically in Mountain Daylight Time. Those were all the factors that led up to you just being number one in the galaxy. Please welcome Mike Langworthy, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very, very much, because I know you mean that. Anyway, here we are once again. Good to see Chipp Jones back in the house. Probably been
big house.
Been doing some IT work.
Yeah, and then I had that little stint in prison, but it's good to be out.
I wasn't going to go there because I wasn't going to go racial.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for all the money you put in my commissary account. You're big. You're
totally
big
okay.
You're big.
Did you get the file and the cake?
Yeah, but I didn't understand why would you put a folder of your taxes in a cake? I don't understand.
I've got a new assistant, still learning the ropes.
Right.
However, her nails are just sharp as a tack because she used the file on her nails, is what I'm saying. No, I didn't think you understood it because I didn't get a laugh. So you
right. I think you nailed it.
I think we were laughing on the
nailed
inside.
it. We nailed it. Every time I do that joke, it gets a laugh. So anyway, we're gonna have a good show tonight. I've already put the first two acts into the public chat. Michael, I don't know you yet, but I'm sure we're gonna become great friends. And how I do the show is everybody gets 5 minutes. At 4 minutes, I do something like this. So keep your gallery view on. You got a minute to wrap up after that. And we're hoping that we're going to get a couple of guests coming in later that just called up today and wanted to see if they could pop in after their early show. And I like to think I run a show that's not important enough to be anyone's first priority. It's the thing that I like to call humility, ladies and gentlemen. I do the self-deprecating thing, and it's not because I think it's endearing, it's because I really do hate myself. So I hope that I'm coming through okay to you guys on the show, because I've been having a little trouble with my voice lately, a little raspy. I don't know if it's coming through at all. On a side note, don't ever let anybody tell you that semen will cure a sore throat. In retrospect, I feel naive. I'll be honest.
I know.
With you.
Chuck been lying to you again? God.
Not Chuck. And I'm not even sure that guy was a doctor, man. Who practices medicine in a men's room? Am I kidding? Am I right? But you know what the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 5 or 6 times backstage at a Sam Smith concert. Because maybe I did have a little ecstasy in my beer. And Stay With Me is the anthem of a generation. And I might have just gone a little over the line, but I've never felt so alive since I got lost on that hike with my wrestling coach in middle school. And I still think my parents bear a lot of responsibility for his firing and subsequent suicide.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, fool me 3 times. Shame on everybody. So I'm just thinking about that. That's the thing. That's the thing that I'm thinking about.
Only 3 times. What stamina? Jesus.
Well, It's hard on the knees, I'll tell you that.
Ooh.
Hello. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But Chuck's got a bad back. But I'm sure he's going to get some CBD, a little ointment on it, and he'll be back on his knees in no time. So this is the night that we've decided to go completely politically incorrect about the whole concept of gender. And the reason is that I've recently had an awakening on that front. I was born genetically as a male, but I identify as not giving a fuck what you think of my sexuality. So I just want to say that I'm now saying things that people in Sid's country would be strung up on piano wire. Gotta love those religious autocracies.
Mike, I always like to think of you as an asshole trapped in a white guy's body. That's the way.
Voices.
Is that how you like to think of me? You know, I'm a little hinky when anybody likes to think of me as any kind of asshole. I'll be honest with you. I think I demonstrate the figurative asshole, and if you still have to fantasize about anything asshole related, your problems are worse than mine. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Why? This is supposed to be a classy show. We got a new guy coming in for the first time tonight, and this is what he gets to see.
Don't scare him off.
You don't know this, Michael Harrison.
Yeah.
I actually can do material, and it can be clean material, and the jokes can be funny. And that's what I keep telling myself. And I'm
just here to cancel. That's
until
it.
one day it comes true. Remind me sometime to tell you all about the times when I used to go to New Jersey for Jim Balazos. I will relinquish the stage at this point to our first performer. What I like about doing these Zoom shows, among the things that I like about doing these Zoom shows, is that you can get people who come in from, without exception, all over the world. We've had performers here from Australia, from the subcontinent, from Romania, from Thailand, from Kuala Lumpur, which is not in Thailand, incidentally, in case you're scoring at home. That's right, I'm the American who knows geography.
You're the guy.
That's true. You know, I can remember when all my friends used to be saying, what do we want to go into Iraq for? There's nothing in South America. You just don't know what to say. You don't know what to say to people at that point. You idiots, it's an island off the coast of Australia. And they just don't, you know, whatever. People can be so stupid. Am I right?
You're right.
Am I right? R-I-T-E? Right? All right. Anyway, our first performer comes to us from the subcontinent. He'll elaborate on that without
New Jersey
contradiction as he's on stage. Please welcome, if you will, Sid Bishnu.
Hey, thank you.
Come on, clap for the guy, for Christ's sake. We're sitting here in an auditorium with 6 guys. It's like the chess round.
Thank you so much, Mike. Great to be here. So recently my friends, they started worrying about my health, and they suggested that, hey, you should try getting some physical activities or do some yoga. So I said, fine. I browsed online and came across this thing called underwater yoga. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You do yoga underwater. And I was like, see, for me, location wasn't the problem. It's the act of doing the yoga, right? Like, I'm very lazy. Like the most exercise I get is waking in the morning and sitting up in my bed. Yeah, that's the most exercise I get. Like walking to my kitchen and back to my bed. And my Apple Watch goes crazy. The other day, I was hungry and I went for multiple snacks, right? And the lady in my Apple Watch, also I cannot take the name of the lady because she's the only lady who gets turned on when I take her name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I took multiple trips to the kitchen, right? And she goes crazy. She said, Sid, are you okay? I said, yeah, dude, I'm fine. She said, then stop masturbating all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been crazy, you know, like, I mean, why do people exercise? I don't understand the concept of exercising, going to the gym. That's so stupid. I mean, you go to a building where you pay and then lift stuff, right? It's like going to a hotel, paying the bellboy money, and then carrying your own luggage to your room. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. I went to the gym once, long time back. 1 week in, I left the gym. I could not continue because I really don't understand the concept of gym. There are people in front of mirror going nude and just showing their body, right? If I had to watch naked bodies, it's freely available online. I can really enjoy that from my bed. And I feel like that's the best way to enjoy naked bodies, like from a safe distance in front of a screen. Because at that moment, your intimidation does not show. And I'm very self-conscious, right? I'm a skinny dude. I'm self-conscious about me. I hate going outside, right? In beaches, right? In India, especially, you can see these uncles with paunch belly running naked throughout the beach. I'm like, kudos to that. I can't do that. I can't. Because if I run, someone from the cadaver lab is surely going to come after me and take me down. And that's been my time, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. Back to your host, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was Sid Bishnu. Hey, Sid.
Yeah.
Bangladesh?
You're close. It's India.
No, that's not what I know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's close.
You were here the first time you were here. There was somebody from Bangladesh, somebody from I think Bengal, and you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And
The
I
other
couldn't
dude from
remember
Bangladesh.
which was which. That's all.
I think he meant the album.
Hey, hey, Sid, there's an underwater yoga here in my town, and when I went, it just turns out it's a regular yoga place, but it's behind on its mortgage. I'll be.
Oh, geez, Chuck just muted himself.
Yes.
You see how the level of
Stinging
his joke.
self-rebuke from our.
Ever since he got that MBA, I'm telling
see
you.
how, I was gonna say
Yeah,
the level of
he's
his jokes
changed.
have changed since he got the
All of a sudden, he
MBA.
developed standards.
Yeah.
Joe College.
Uh-huh.
It's joke college.
That's why
Right.
you make the big money.
Every Monday night at 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, that's true. We are teaching people like nobody's business.
You do good work, Mike. It's God's work.
It is, or just to make Sid feel a little bit more at home. It's a God's work.
Okay.
Right.
Holy cow.
Right.
Did
Holy
Chuck just
cow!
call God?
That's great.
Did
That's
Chuck just
great.
call God lazy? He's making Mike do his work. Is that what he
Can you
just said?
imagine some dumbass lamb being led to the slaughter in front of a cow, going, "Ah,
So
the man
great.
wants me. He doesn't want you."
I'm
Sounds
going
like
to the
government.
VIP room, asshole.
Yeah. Speaking of asshole, yours is
Hey.
going to be a hot dog someday.
I thought you were going to answer me. I
You
was
know
like,
what?
no.
I thought I was coming on.
Yeah.
You're not coming on. There's
Oh,
something coming on. Don't know what it is, but I'm getting stronger. Blood, sweat, and tears.
What an outburst.
For those of you who,
That's
know
early
your-
blood, sweat, and tears.
If you don't know, Mike puts the care in karaoke.
Ah.
Just heartfelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Our next
Right.
performer is a guy from New York who I used to do comedy with back in the olden days, and we did our share of gigs in the Tri-County, in the Tri-State area
Yeah.
together. And now he's there. He's an actor, lives in Brooklyn, very funny, clap a lot. He clapped for you, so you clap for him. Alan Enlow.
Thank you. Thank you. Coming to you live from Brooklyn. So I feel like I'm gonna have to do like a 10 minutes of explanation for anybody that doesn't live in this country for this first show. This is I was going to do a quick impression of Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida. And for those who don't live in this country, he's a Republican who bit of a hypocrite. He's gotten the vaccination, but he doesn't push anything anti-COVID at all. So this is my quick impression. This is Governor Ron DeSantis giving a TED talk on the benefits of wearing a mask. It's a short speech.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Sid's going, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Was I allowed to do that impression? Am I going to get cut off for doing that impression?
No,
I was doing a
voice.
specific person. I wasn't doing all people from India. I was doing one person.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's great.
What's wrong with my mic? Hello.
Enjoy this, your last set on the open mic, Alan.
I'm still
Anyway,
I'm still tweeting it out.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm under the impression that a lot of politicians are really not interested in helping the general public. It's really all about the power.
No.
And I mean, even Scarface understood about the power. I remember that speech from Scarface. He goes, listen, how many times I got to tell you? You want the power? First you got to get the money, then you get the woman. But see, even that's outdated. If they were going to do that scene again, they would have to reshoot that scene. All right, how many times I got to tell you? You want to get the power? First you got to get the money, then you get the woman. But if you ever introduce your little friend to that woman, she's going to take you to court, then she's going to take all your power and take your money. And then your little friend is going to stay little. Got that, Americans? Okay, so now I've done a sexist joke as well. All right. I'm trying to chuck up all the taboos tonight. Here we go.
We
Maybe I
got a
should do a
black guy on the
9/11
show,
joke.
Alan. Go for the hat trick.
Maybe I should do a 9/11 joke since we got the tower behind me. But speaking of which, New York City never fails to amaze me. Never stop amazing me, because there are over 8.5 million people in the 5 boroughs of New York City. And yet in every neighborhood, there is always one guy in the corner talking to himself. Like he can't find anybody else to talk to. In my neighborhood, it's a guy named Talking Tony. And Tony, he's a cool guy. You know, he's not crazy. He just can't afford therapy. So he walks up and down the street talking to himself, you know, and sometimes he quotes the Bible, you know, the Bible says thou shalt not steal, but I didn't steal that car. I just borrowed it for a couple of months. Yeah. But lately he's been getting on my nerves because he has been showing up in front of my apartment building, right in front of my window, and repeating the same thing over and over again, like 3 nights in a row. And he screams it at the top of his lungs, you know, President McKinley used to keep his teeth in a jar by the window. Why? And after the 3rd night, I couldn't take it anymore. I opened my window, I yelled back, I was like, yo, Tony, the reason President McKinley used to keep his teeth in a jar by the window is because it makes his wife happy when gives her oral sex. All right, you got that? So get some new material and stop doing this at 3 a.m. Luckily, he apologized. I was like, "Oh, sorry. My wife and I have insomnia, and my writers are on strike." But now I'm not originally from Manhattan or New York or Brooklyn, any of those places. I actually grew up in the South. My parents are from Kentucky, and I got to tell you, I can't stand thick Southern accents. I can't stand it. mostly because I get in trouble.
Yeah.
When I was 9, I used to visit my grandfather's farm in Kentucky, and there was always this little kid there trying to tell me something. I could never understand what the hell he was talking about. He's like, well, first one over and get changed out back here. And I didn't know what he was saying, so I would just laugh. I was like, that's a good one, Dilbert. All of a sudden, this big brother shows up. What you laughing at, boy? My brother just told you his dog died. You think that's funny?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what else to do, so I just imitated Delbert. I said, well, first one over and get changed out back here, come back here. He said, oh, your dog died too? Well, I'm so sorry, sir. You have a nice day. So, all right, I guess that's it for me. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Before I go, you mentioned the dead people thing. I actually see dead comedians. And there's one in my apartment here. It's Jerry Lewis, everybody. I know you can't hear him, but he's telling me a joke. Let me translate for you. Hold on a second. Okay, here's the joke that he just told me. Hello, and the thing, the woes, and the thing. Why, hi, lady. That's a good one, Jerry. Thank you. How about a hand for Jerry? All right, that's it for me. Thank you. All right. Hey.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything because I was too busy reading what I was supposed to do next. Because anyway. Okay. Wow, Michael Harrison's got a lot of stuff to promote, so we should be hearing about that. Oh, by the way, I should tell you, Sid Bishnu's put his IG and Twitter and stuff into the chat, so make sure you go over there and see what he's up to over there in not Bangladesh.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It's India, 1.4 billion people. Ever heard of it?
Nope.
Because I sort of draw a veil over the countries where people live in their own shit. I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Of course. I'm kidding. Come on. Come on. Hundreds of them don't.
You're canceled.
You can't do that joke in 2021.
Warm in here. Oh.
Mike, could you ever do that joke, really?
Well, it was never a joke, so I guess the answer is no.
Come on, Mike, attack the church next. Come on, attack the church next.
Which one? There's so many. There's so many. For Christ, it had to be tough growing up as Jesus, though. Huh?
In what possible way?
Oh, there's 100 ways. I can't get into it right now because I'm.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Farmer who's probably only going to be here one time.
That's like.
First
of all, his dad was always right.
He's drawn a mental line through my name from about 2 minutes into the introduction. So so let's welcome Michael Harrison with a lot of stuff to promote on his only time that he's going to be able to tolerate being in the same presence as me.
What?
Well,
You're too hard on yourself. I enjoy religious debate in my intro. It's very happens all the time.
It's a thing that we always do. You know who doesn't do it? The Jews.
Right?
Oh,
Canceled. No, I'm joking. Well, I'm happy to be here. My first time. You're right. I'm jacked for this. It was hilarious too because I was writing about my first time doing stand-up earlier today. I know. I bombed. I hope I didn't do well. I actually could tell I didn't do well because I ran up to another comic on the show and I asked him how he did, and he told me I had great stage presence. Right, that's when I knew I did really bad. That's like if you had a regular job and you did your first shift and ran up to the boss and said the same thing, like, how'd I do? And he's like, well, you didn't steal. So it only goes up from here. I mean, thank God I had stage presence. That would have been even more awkward if I ran up. How'd I do? It's like, what, you were up? I watched that stage the whole time. I don't remember you. Shit. what is it? Last week I joined a gym because I need to use the restroom. It's a very New York City joke, by the way. And it's real, unfortunately. You know, I had to they have no restrooms in New York City. So I went into a Planet Fitness, like, oh, can I join your restroom? And they're like, the gym, and I'm like, sold. You know, I know I quit the gym during the pandemic. I remember like 2 years ago, I did go to my old gym. I remember when I walked in, there was a woman behind the desk who asked me if I wanted to donate $5 to an anti-bullying fund. And I was like, you're a gym, you create bullies. Right? You're like a bully factory. What are you talking about, right? Sort of hilarious because I was bullied a lot as a kid. Yeah, it was the worst. You know, in elementary school, I had twin bullies. Twins. Top that. Right? The worst. One gets sick, the other one would fill in. I don't like it. Although, was it when I headlined my hometown like 3 years ago? One of those bullies came to watch me. And after the show, I know, he walked up and he told me he was proud of me.
No, really?
Real. I know. I exceeded the expectations of someone who used to nut punch me. You know? I don't even give a fuck about this podcast or this, podcast, this Zoom mic. I could bomb here. I'm like, who cares? My bully loves me. I'm done. The world. It's the best. Like even when people tell me that lame line where they're like, I just want my parents to be proud. I'm like, why? They love you. You know, fucking try harder. Okay. I don't know. I do like language. I think about language a lot. I remember when I was young, the word creepy used to mean spooky or scary. Now creepy is a word used by women to define unattractive men who hit on them. That's why I think if I ever made a haunted mansion for women, it would just be full of 40-year-old virgins named Ned. That's
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah, just guys trying to hit on them. You're like, oh, my psoriasis is clearing up and I think you're pretty. Want to meet my mom? Yeah, that'll scare them.
Damn.
That's right. I went there. Yeah.
Went there. I lived there.
Oh, there you go. Oh, fuck. Your name's Ned. Sorry, Ned. That. All right. I don't want you to think I'm trying to take you down.
Is it okay if I use that line?
What a bad first impression. This is not only my last time here, but you also banned me. It's like we're working in partnership to make sure this never happens again. Can you guys hear me, by the way, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
we,
nice.
Yeah. You have great stage presence.
A great Zoom presence.
Thank you. I think
feel like
flashed
we're really
up on my
making a
computer
connection.
saying the internet connection was unstable. That's why I was worried.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Have I done my time or do I do more? I can't even tell
That
where I
about-
get.
You have 30 seconds ish.
All right, let's do
More
30
fire.
seconds.
I'm not a
I
cop.
actually do have something 30 seconds ish. I read a fact in the Guinness Book of World Records like was it 2 weeks ago? Did you know that the average pig's orgasm is 30 minutes? That's true.
Wow.
I know that, man. That's got to be annoying to fake.
This is the pig. This is the first time I've ever been jealous of her.
Anyways, I guess that's my time. Oh, did I tell you guys that I have things to promote yet? Oh,
No.
if you take a
Wow.
look at the chat, you will notice that
Why
I
don't you
have a
just leave?
podcast where I always moderate, and I have two comedians in character debate each other. First episode was Santa versus Easter Bunny on what's the best holiday. Second episode is The Rock versus Olympic wrestler on his Olympic wrestling fake. And the next one is a drunk bar star versus a talking dog on who is man's best friend. So it's very funny. It's very silly.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I got a bunch of sketches on YouTube. I just did Just for Laughs last week. And I rolled out my new short, which went really well. So check me out and subscribe to all that jazz. And I love you. Cheers, Michael Harrison.
All right, congratulations.
Michael. And feel free to come back anytime you want, my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime he's got something to promote, right?
Right.
Well, he sounds like he's.
I'm
always
gonna check my numbers after this podcast after this Zoom show just to double check if it's worth it.
Hope you've got a microscope.
Oh,
It's my show. I can say that if I want. So
Man's humble.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do next because Chuck and I have been arguing in the chat, which is why I didn't say
Be
thank you
funny.
immediately when Alan.
Oh, I didn't.
We've
see
been
that.
arguing. We've been debating on what we're gonna
disgusting.
do. So you know what I'm going to do, Chuck? I'm just going to bring this next guy on, and then we'll do the announcements and the round robin together. How about that?
I think that's great. Sounds like I get my way.
Yeah, you do get
As usual.
Happens to be important.
You have a bad back and you're a top. The two reasons
Yeah,
you can get your own way.
not really. Come on. That's
Oh, sure you do. Come on.
right.
All right. So our next performer doesn't even know he's going on, but he happens to be so professional. It's not going to be a problem. Please welcome, if you will, or not, if you don't feel like it, Bruce Lipsky.
Yes.
Bruce, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I was just going to go to the bathroom. Okay. All right. So,
Thought you just did.
okay. That's
Always
okay.
keep a bottle handy for just
That's
such
right.
Exactly.
emergencies.
That's why I'm really squirming a little bit here today.
I'm going now, so
Take the Zoom with
Yeah.
you. Let's go.
But Sid was talking about yoga and everything, and I probably mentioned this many times that my wife is into yoga, and she takes goat yoga. She finds it very therapeutic and relaxing, especially when the goat jumps on her back and licks her ears. So I said to my wife, "How come when I tried that last week, you slapped me, threw me out of the bedroom, and now you'll pay a goat to do it?" He said, "Well, he's got fresher breath."
Huh.
And so I asked her, "Do they allow kids in the class?" She said, "No, they only use adult goats." But she roped me into taking a yoga class, but it was a hot yoga class. Imagine 50 people shoved into the room the size of a walk-in closet, 150 degrees. At one point, while doing my downward dog, I looked in the mirror and I said, "Oh God, please tell me that was a goat's tongue." But I also joined the gym, Michael, recently too. And I went down to the weight room and everything, and I saw this huge guy down there pumping iron like this. And on his sweatshirt, he had this big check on there. But it said over here, "Just ate it." And so he's constantly doing this. I said, "What are you doing this for?" He said, "I'm trying to lose weight because obesity runs in my family." I said, "Buddy, looking at you, it looks like nobody runs in your family." And he kept on going really fast. And I said, "Why are you going so fast?" He says, "My personal trainer, Lars, told me I have to do 50 reps, because it's good to lose weight. Because my doctor says I have a disease, but they can't figure out what it is." I looked at the guy and I said, "I figured out your disease. It looks like you got the furniture disease. It looks like your chest is falling into your drawers." But I actually love exercise. You know, I mentioned it many times, but I only exercise late at night, between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. I'm running sprints from the bedroom to the bathroom. My wife calls it my fleet of pee. They always ask me, "Why do I wear a tracksuit and cleats to bed?" I said, "Because it's great. I finally got my time down under 6 seconds. Unfortunately, I can only hold my pee for 4.2. And it's tough. I'm afraid I'm going to turn into my parents if I don't stay in shape. Because my father, I think, is starting to lose it. He's convinced that stand-up MRI is a comedy club. I had to take him to the hospital the other day for some tests. So we're in the elevator, and this technician wheels in this machine with all these tubes and hoses. My father looks at him and says, "You're not going to hook me up to that machine today, are you?" The guy looks at him and says, "I hope not. It's a carpet cleaner."
Yeah.
After the restaurant, I took him to their favorite. After the hospital, I took him to their favorite restaurant, Friendly's. But there's never anything friendly about my parents when they go out. They're lukewarm at best. They don't go to eat, they go to complain. My mother calls over the manager. She says, "Mister, it's bad enough my eggs are running, my toast is burnt. How come you don't serve coffee in those nice brown friendly mugs anymore?" The manager said, "We stopped, lady, because people kept on stealing them." Oh my God, that's too bad. I only needed one more to complete my set. Now I have a mother with a mug shot for being a mug thief. And I'm running out of restaurants to take them to. Restaurants are doing Yelp reviews on my parents now. But it was their anniversary recently, so I took them to a fancy restaurant. But it's the same thing. My mother started to complain. She said, "Bruce, this soup is cold, it's tasteless, it's disgusting." I said, "Ma, that's the finger bowl." And then when her food came out, she started eating. She slammed the fork down. She said, "This is the worst Greek salad I've ever eaten." I said, "Ma, how many times do I tell you, you don't order a Greek salad in a Chinese restaurant?" So tough. Then I went back to their house to check on him. As soon as I walked in, there's terrible smell in the house. I said, "What's going on in here?" So I went right to the refrigerator. Opened up the refrigerator. I looked in there. I said, "Ma, look at this Grey Poupon. It's actually gray." Yeah, a stalk of broccoli in there. It looks like a chia pet. I think it grew its own personality. We had a staring contest. It was so scary. She also had a tub of cottage cheese that was so old. It was expired way before my great-grandfather did.
Hello.
And it was really moldy. The cottage cheese, not my great-grandfather. But I got to give him credit. You know, my mother makes a broccoli souffle that Anthony Fauci is doing experiments on. Because my parents are in their 90s, and I figured out why they're so healthy. They've been eating all this bacteria. I tell you, COVID, I think, is scared of my parents. I tell you, I'm a lucky guy. I'll just tell you one final thing. You know, during this whole COVID situation, I actually had the COVID. I tested positive, and I was pretty sick. I was under quarantine, so sex was out of the question. But my loving wife, in order to keep the passion alive, cut up one of her Victoria's Secret black lace bras and made masks out of them. Thankfully, she's a double D. It also would have never fit over my Jewish nose.
Hello.
Hey.
She was equally happy after I cut up one of my athletic supporters and made masks for her.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you wash it first?
Don't get a lot of jock humor on the show.
Ha, ha.
So,
Although it is very jocular.
yes, it is jocular.
Nothing?
That's a great segue from the humor into the next thing that we're going to do.
Hey.
Strap on for this, everyone.
All right. If you're going to tell a joke like that, make sure you cup your hands.
Chuck always has to make it personal, don't you, Chuck?
Mhm.
No, he just likes a good strap on. That's all. That's okay.
Strap on, strap off.
That's right. That's true. Clap your hands at
Quit
it.
jerking around, man. Quit jerking around.
All right. Anyway, you know what? Let's just not go there. All right. So our next thing is this. Every week we do a little thing called what, Chuck?
It's the Round Robin, brought to you by Round Robin Real Estate, known for plus size sales figures.
Which month is APR month?
April is APR month. Thank you very much. So this is an opportunity for all the comedians to chime in with jokes. We give them the topic ahead of time, and hopefully, some hilarity ensues. So comedians, if you have a funny CB radio handle, feel free to chime in with yours. Mike, I know I'm going to just give away your CB radio handle. They call you Roly Moses.
Yep.
And it goes from there.
Right. And speaking of, Ned Rice has the one of the oddest CB radio handles. Just mint on your pillow. Not even sure what he's trying to get across there.
That's
No. He flashes his lights 3 times behind you. Go into the next.
Right.
Stop.
Go into the next rest area
Yeah.
because he's got a mint for your pillow. So funny CB radio handles. If you've got one, Mike, have you one to
I
entertain?
just have
the nice
one. I
kids?
don't think it's God's gift to comedy by any chance. But I just have the one. It's called a guy who comes from Florida, and he drives a big rig. He's just 18-wheel big rig election rig.
Hello.
Oh.
No, don't patronize me.
No, I'm proud of you for that one.
No,
It's
I have great
timely.
stage presence.
Yeah.
It's-
My Italian friend who drives those big trucks,
Yes.
his handle is Rigatoni.
Hello. See what they've done there, everybody, is they've taken the word rig and they've all right.
So
I don't know
the
that we
premise
need to-
is,
And they turned it
Chuck.
into a slur. Is what they did.
Right. Ned Rice.
so these are names that are awkward and inadvertently humorous.
I believe so.
Okay.
That is the goal, Ned.
Okay. How about Michael Harrison?
Oh,
He's a good friend of mine.
right.
Breaker,
Another one I
friendship.
heard was bi-coastal curious,
Hello.
long distance, stage 4 liver disease. Because
Oh,
why
no.
not have fun with
It's more
it?
descriptive, really, than
Yeah, but that's actually his handle. And then of course Clutch Cargo.
Wow.
As he carries cargo like it's all comes together.
slow.
Completely. That's
Excellent.
Double clutch. Double
I've got
clutch cargo.
Double clutch.
Double
I've got
clutch.
one.
I thought about double clutch cargo and I said, nope,
Uh,
only Mike Langworthy would say that. So
Right. Double clutch cargo is one of Gladys's favorite perfumes.
Ooh,
and ice
nice.
cream flavors too.
Yes, and also one of Gladys's perfumes that doubles as a CB radio handle, instant hookup.
Yeah, actually,
I think the kids call it Insta hookup. I think that's what
Okay.
the kids-
Yeah.
The only thing you guys screwed up on is when you read the double clutch cargo, you're supposed to stick your lips really close to the camera and go double clutch
Yeah.
cargo.
That would have been
My
good.
my CB handle is Black Guy Driving. No, wait, that's my police radio handle.
Right.
cool. Gladys gave me this one. Bad to the boner.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
I know what her CB radio handle is. It's Lola the Lot Lizard.
Oh,
I got a couple. So my first handle is I see stupid people, and this
breaker, I see stupid people.
and this is followed by roadkill tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Did you?
Sid, what's the CB radio scene like in India?
Oh no, there's
Huge?
none.
Very popular. Okay, I
No,
was just curious.
I know.
There's plenty of support there for it. There's
I actually they go. I would like to sell you something. That's what it is.
it's a growth market.
Breaker, my name is Steve.
Can you turn your radio off and back on for me one more time?
You try turning the ignition off and then on.
That's right. Gladys calls me on the CB. She calls me cushion pushing. That's what she.
Hello.
That's a good one. That's a good one. My
last one is Catcher in the Eye.
Trump has one too.
Donald Trump?
Yeah, it's called Big Lie, Little Hands. 45.
Yeah, there's also one called Shane. And so whenever he calls anybody, everybody says, Shane, come back.
Shane.
I see what you did there.
That's
It's
what you call a
Shane, but then
classic joke.
You did it with Shane.
Absolutely.
And then you took an old movie quote and you applied it to today's politics. That was just, folks,
that
there's
was
a
on a-
reason why they call him the old school.
That was on a
Uh,
Batman episode too.
He'll
Yeah.
just learn you. That's Mike Langworthy.
Oh, I thought it's
Drop
because
the
she was
mic.
red all over. Isn't that why they called it?
Yeah.
Right.
That was
From
a-
now on, the admission to this show is going to be coal for the one-room schoolhouse fireplace we got.
There's the lobotomy handle. Have you heard that one?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's for people that had a lobotomy. 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
Definitely my handle. Definitely a handle.
That could also be for jazz music, jazz dancers. Just
Oh, right.
10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, there you go.
Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
Right.
18-wheel jazz hands. Okay, so are we rewarding prizes, Chuck?
I think we
got
want
one more.
prizes.
We
Can I
got
do one more?
for Alan Enlow.
This is
Yes,
a
you can do one
this
more.
is an
please.
inside comedian handle for Robin Williams. Dead man driving. Oh.
Oh, whoa.
So you know what
Dude,
they they call Chuck at the truck stop.
No.
No.
They call him 18-wheel jizz hands.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh.
That is
Right.
great.
I will keep your truck lubed up.
So anything goes.
Oh,
they call
I
it
got one more.
the Chuck stop.
Right.
One more. Christopher.
Well, you're all winners in my book. You get to choose
Picture
one of
Chuck in
three
between his two
prizes.
best friends.
I want to be the one in the middle.
Is this
I got to tell you, there's actually 4 trucks available. The white pickup truck in the right,
That's right.
either of the 2 green ones and the blue one. But one of the trucks doesn't work. Good luck in your choice, everybody.
what is the
only
one?
pick one?
What is the one in the middle saying?
Yes.
Oh, John Deere.
Oh, he's saying
Right.
salad. And
Right, and you also get a delicious salad. How could you win a prize without us not including a salad from Chef Scapone of the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center? Mike, my fair friend, can you? I'm gonna see if I can't add you in here. Can you tell us about magic moments,
Yes.
if you would please?
First of all, props to Chuck for deciding to advertise, promote, and contribute to various causes as a result of the shows that Colorado Comedy Shows has been producing. One of which is one that I co-write with some other people every year, a full-length musical. All the songs, and there are 40 of them in each show, are ASCAP and BMI licensed. So anyone who goes there knows that they're going to be listening to 40 very popular, in many cases very classic songs. The lyrics have been repurposed to support the plot of the show. It's a musical comedy. This year's show is going to be about a small town like Loveland out in the middle of nowhere. Well, farther than Loveland, actually, somewhere up in the mountains that's got these pristine views, and somebody wants to come in and change it from being a sleepy little mountain town into a resort town. And he wrestles with the mechanic who's owns the garage in town. He's a male, she's a female. They're attracted to each other, but they're on the wrong side of the politics. What? Oh my God. Trouble ensues. And the thing about the show is that they have a large cast, of which about a third every year are people with some kind of disability, from hardly noticeable to severely impacted. And the magic of Magic Moments, as far as I'm concerned, is that they find a way to give a meaningful role in the show to everybody, no matter how severely impacted they might be by some disability or other, or no matter how Broadway ready they are, because every year there are several people who would be at home on a Broadway stage. So it's great to see an opportunity for people who have special needs to work with people who don't have special needs, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. So if you're in the Denver area, come to the show. It'll be during the spring break next year, assuming we don't all go back into lockdown. Don't even say that. And if you're not, write a check or transfer some money via one of the electronic means to magicmomentsinc.org, and you'll be helping one of the most worthy causes I've ever been associated with. And I've been associated with some really good ones. So I was the guy that invented cancer research.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you can't pause too long when you're saying that.
Gotta be so careful.
You gotta be careful, is what I'm saying. And Chuck, is there anything else that we promote?
There are just a few. Elevating Connections is a charity that we also support. 10% of ticket sales go to Elevating Connections, as well as 10% of our private event fees. We've donated over $1,000 so far this year, Mike, to Elevating Connections, and another $1,000 on the way. So glad to help this charity. They support youth who are separated from their siblings by the foster care system. We provide mobile food cards, and this semester we're also bringing them to the community collage of Denver so they can do some career exploration and such. So some really cool things, trying to help kids get into college and whatnot. It is a challenge for youth in foster care. Some youth in foster care can go up to 4 high schools a year. Really challenging there. So I'm stoked to be connecting a whole lot of people to try and resolve that, we're gonna fix it. That's what we're gonna do, right, Mike?
Yep.
And let's see here. If you listen to our podcast, go to anchor.fm/Chuck-Roy, and you can download the episodes as podcasts. If you need any of the links, go to our link tree. It's linktree/Colorado Comedy. And that's how you can listen to us on things like the Spotify and such. And if you would kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'll continue to send you terrific programs like the Open Mic Comedy Show. And we should give away some gifts. Whoops, this seems to still have this in the... We were giving that away last week, and now it's just still here.
You're giving away some of your old Christmas gifts. You're re-gifting some of your old Christmas gifts.
Right. Hey, when you've got 9 washboards, you can just give away 1 or 2. How much laundry can I do in a week? And then if you need to do some stretches, this young lady will be happy to do them for you. She's virtually stretching for you. Also got you this hat. I don't know why. It's just a cute little hat. And we should always have some food for our VIPs. So you get delicious pizza and, of course, a tasty salad from Chef Capone. That's for our VIPs. And so that'll be our comedians today. And just for those of you in general admission out there in the YouTube, I get you prizes too. You can choose between the sneakers or the weights. Can't have them both. It's general admission. What do you want? VIPs get big splurgy prizes. This guy's a pretty relative consistent prize week after week. So you've got him there for you. Do some arm punchy exercises things.
He looks like he wants to punch you, but he doesn't mean it.
That's right.
Right. And a little bit of a snack. Delicious grapes. And we wouldn't want to deprive you, general admission folks. We got you a tasty salad.
Well, ironically, Chef Scapone has you make a salad if you're in general admission.
Right.
He throws cabbages at you and you make a salad.
Right. Before the show, we go live on Facebook with something called Make Gladys Laugh. So you can get here early, join us, and joke around. Comedians are always welcome to come back and hang out for the joke contests and such. Next week's topic is funniest things Gladys was arrested for. What is the funniest thing that Gladys was arrested for? August 9th, which happens to be the birthday celebration show for Mike Langworthy. We'll try and get there a day early. So his birthday is the 10th. So next week's round robin will be birthday presents for Mike.
I will have guests at my house while I'm doing the show. So
that's great.
Mike,
yes?
Mike, you're going to be 21 to the 10th power?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
Alan. Yes,
I was just curious.
That's a great joke to be going out on on
That's
this.
a great
Right.
Wait, Mike,
Mike.
can I finally tell my trucker joke? Please, can I
You can
tell?
always tell your trucker joke.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't
Okay.
tell it sooner while we were doing trucker shit.
Hey, you guys
That's why
just
we're here.
wouldn't let me speak. I've been sitting here
Oh.
silently. I mean,
Sorry, that was not our intention, but
So,
Three-fifths
Mike,
of Chuck wanted you to tell
if
it.
you're a trucker and you're on the road, always be nice to Chuck, because then he'll show you his mud flap. Oh,
hello.
Worth the wait. Worth the wait.
Toot toot.
He spends a lot of time trying to scrape that picture of the naked lady off.
I was gonna say, I got that polished. Straight guys love it. If there's any straight guys left, they really
Well, there's straight guys left, Chuck.
there are,
right.
I'm not.
Name one.
you
None of
know,
the guys
you
I
know,
fucked today.
you know the truth though is only 20% of gay men were born that way. And
Oh, really? The rest
the
of them
other-
were Lady Gaga?
no, the other 80% were sucked into it.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Wow. If you could just find a way to work the mud flap into that, you could really do it.
Right, that would be the trifecta.
Mud chaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my rude awakenings back in the day when I lived in New York. I got lost in Greenwich Village, and all of a sudden I found myself outside this place where a guy was wearing chaps and nothing else. And
Oh, well,
Ooh.
Assless.
the chaps are assless.
chaps are assless by definition.
That's how we met, right, Mike?
Just a couple of old chaps, huh?
We almost met, but
That's right.
he had his back to me, and you were obscured.
Oh, because we were having intercourse.
Well, not so much intercourse, but you were helping him pray.
Oh.
Anyway,
You're taking it for a ride.
you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and introduce you since you've already butted into my
Oh, really?
little
Okay.
rant. So this is Ned Rice. Ned got a bone to pick with at least one person here tonight. So let's see
I'll say.
how he's going to do.
Am I on?
Oh,
Ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, Ned Rice.
It's
Hi,
celebrated
everybody.
first time.
It's so exciting. Hey, thanks for being here. Skipping the Olympics to watch this show means a lot to us. You know, I watched the gymnastics on the Olympics for one day, and then I quit so I could spend more time on my mental health. And people are pissed. People are calling me a quitter. Okay. Good night,
Too
everybody.
soon. Too soon.
Right.
Drive safe. Too soon.
6.5.
Yes, of course.
6.5.
Got a lot of bile, you know that?
Happy August, everybody. This is exciting. I don't know if it's any Cosmopolitan readers out there. Cosmo magazine, every August is their daddy issue. And my girlfriend collects them. She's got any number of daddy issues. They're always a good read. So that's exciting for me. I'm coming to you from Ann Arbor today. Mike knows Ann Arbor. He went to school here, supposedly. And it's a very progressive, liberal town. If you get your goods and services from merchants in your neighborhood, that's known as shopping wokally, which I'm all in favor of that. I had an interesting day today. I played Monopoly with my Israeli friend and my Palestinian friend, and it was tense. Every time one landed on the other's property, he would say, well, this has been in our family for centuries. And the other one said, no, it's mine. The Bible says it's mine. And then somebody from the UN shows up. It's not good. So that was tense. Speaking of which, I heard that Rocket Mortgage, is that a company you've heard of?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Rocket Mortgage just opened a branch in Palestine. Is that a good idea? Was that a little, would that be not? Okay, I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I also gave blood today because every time you give blood, you save 3 lives. And also I have a rare blood disorder that never shows up on the screening. So every time I give blood, I contaminate the entire blood supply for the state of Michigan. And I just think that's really funny. I think that's hilarious. I'm just kidding. I don't have a rare blood disorder. I would hardly call herpes rare. I mean, it's quite common nowadays. I'm just kidding. I don't have herpes. Relax. Everybody relax. It's perfectly safe to have sex with me. All right. I don't recommend it. It won't be pleasant for you. You won't be proud of yourself afterwards, but it's perfectly safe. I'm also an organ donor. Upon my death, my doctor has instructions to harvest my appendix. You know, there's thousands of Americans on wait lists for appendix transplants. And when I die, somebody's getting mine. So that makes me feel pretty good. I work on an amazing nonprofit, a nonprofit that you may have heard of it. It's called My Career. And we don't take a penny. We work our asses off, no money. But but I also work on another nonprofit. You've heard of the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Sure. I work for the Make Another Wish Foundation. Our mission is to encourage terminally ill children to be more realistic. You want to meet LeBron James? Kid, that's not going to happen. How about a nice sandwich? Would you like that? You can get French fries. So yeah, we're doing the work. My final thing, I went to a hospital and I did a show for a group of paraplegics, and I must say it went over pretty good. I actually got a sitting ovation, so it went very well. So I'm really making fun of
rolling in the aisles.
You could say that, but that's how they roll, Mike.
Killed.
Although one guy said I won't be pushed around anymore, and I said yes, you will. But I had to quit my job today, and it's a familiar tale. You probably, my boss felt threatened by me, which was probably because I threatened him a lot. I broken into his home several times. I killed all his pets. I canceled his credit cards. So wow. he took that wrong, and so off I had to go. But I got a new job. It's exciting. I'll be teaching. I got a teaching job finally. I'll be teaching English to internet scammers, which is a lot of demand for that now. You don't have to know anything about grammar. It's mostly about the math. So also I saw on TV the other day, you can now purchase postage stamps online. Mm-hmm. Who is this for? How many people still use postage stamps, know how to order things online? My guess would be very few. In fact, I think it's odd that the Postal Service has an email address. Does anyone else think that's sort of weird? Why don't you think about that for a while, and I'll go on to my next topic. And then we can have a Q&A after the show.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah.
I'm writing these down.
You're jotting them down, Mike? I appreciate that. Yeah,
I am, because oftentimes I have to read them later to understand them.
That's really your therapist's job, Mike, but you do what you have to do. You be you, boo. I saw in the news today the PGA, the Professional Golf Association, has announced they're trying to be more diverse, more inclusive, more tolerant of all kinds of people. I think that's a great idea for the PGA to do that. My suggestion to them would be, if you want to be more diverse and inclusive, PGA, maybe change the name of your most famous tournament from the Masters. Maybe change it to a different name, because that word, and then we can talk about the caddying thing. I hate to be triggered during my backswing. So that's my suggestion for the PGA. Now, a lot of comics will end on a big laugh. I don't do it. I prefer to just trail off in humiliation and make you all feel better about yourself. And it really helps the next act too. I've dug quite a hole here. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Ned Rice, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Ned
God,
Rice.
there he goes.
And would you like to meet his mom?
We have a thing called OnlyFans, Mike.
Yeah, I got it. So, hey, you know what? We've been having a good time so far, and we're going to continue having a good time with our next performer. I'm just going to keep it going. Instead of stopping the good time by telling some of my jokes that will just go off the edge of the Hoover Dam and hit every ounce of cement on the way down to the river.
Ouch.
I'm gonna bring our next act up. She's been on a bunch of times here, and last week I felt a little bad because she had some internet connection problems, and now she's doing well internet wise, and I'm looking forward to introducing Paula Maddox. Paula
Hey.
Maddox.
Hello. Hello. Well, it's good to see you, Mike. It's nice to have an actual connection, you know.
Hey.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be so happy to see myself. Yeah. And to hear myself at the same time, like shit's lining up, man. Finally. Really fucking lining up. Yeah. Well, you know, as you know, I have chronic internet problems. It's because the bitch won't sell the ass. You know, if I would sell the ass, I'd be fucking rolling in stacks, but I have morals. There's that line, you know. And I used to joke about how I needed to thank my neighbor for my internet connection because he had a really good internet connection, you know, and he allowed 5 guests in his guest department of his internet thingy. So, you know, you know, I'm native. I like to take from the white man. It's genetic. I can't help it. You know, I just made me feel good. And I really didn't feel too bad for stealing it because historically his kids were stealing my internet for years and I didn't know it until he busted them. You know, so I wouldn't outright steal, but it's been turned off. He turned it off. Like I'm a widow, disabled, single fucking mother with 6 kids, only fuck for 3 of them. I'm raising 3 extras. He could just let the guest thing on again, you know. So I decided, well, you know, always talk about little fellatio always fix a problem, you know. Maybe it would be cheap. Yeah. He's married, so it only take 2 minutes, you know, like, hey, try it, you know, you're a bad bitch. Close your eyes. Anyways. So to get to the offer, you have to get to a certain spot to have an offer. You know, you can't just walk up to your neighbor who you've been neighbors for 10 years and know his wife very well and say, hey, bud, well, what would it take to, you know, get back in your Wi-Fi? You know. But oddly, Wi-Fi sounds a lot like wifey, and I have pangs of guilt. I can't do it. I can't. You know, I even tried to like flirt a little bit to see if he was even open to such an option, but I think she blows him well and he doesn't need any services.
Damn.
You can't say I didn't try, right? I really, yeah. Because it's hard out here for a bitch in this pandemic, man. Being stuck with your own monsters is not fucking cool. It's not. Yeah. My monsters aren't bastards, so I'm always grateful for that. On the bad days, I have that, you know? Yeah. I almost got out of my penitentiary a few years ago. My youngest was about to turn 18, you know? And then my creator just decided that my nieces needed a new mom, you know? So I had to step up to bat, you know? And I like to think he likes my parenting style, you know? Yeah. Because if he's just keeping me locked up to fuck with me, that's mean. You know? It's so bad, y'all. Fucking pandemic. Whew-wee. Yeah, so I've had to do a bunch of stuff to handle the stress, you know. Like, you know, it's really hard to find a new addiction at this age. I don't know about y'all, but man, so hard. I think I tweaked my woofer, y'all. Yeah. Do you guys know what your woofer is? We all have one. Do you know what it is?
No.
So it's that thing inside of you when you're about to take a hit, or you're gonna hit that, and you're like, "Woo! That's your woofer." Yeah, we all have it. I think I fucked mine up, y'all. Yeah. Between the kids and the Zoom comedy, man, I'm telling you, I fucking tweaked my fucking woofer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a technical term. And I was watching that intervention show and it showed me all the signs and symptoms of a bad addiction. And I had a fucking lot of them, dude. Fucking lot of them. And it made me feel good, you know, because I needed more often, you know. So I'm like, fuck that show. I'm going back to my favorite show, that 600-Pound Life. Yeah. That makes a bitch feel good on a Friday, let me tell you. I'm those bitches Galway, y'all. That makes me feel good. Almost want to send a card, you know, like, thank you. Yeah, so I'm stuck at home, you know, so I'm having to read to the kids. I'm having to read those fairy tales. And there's a lot of jewels in there, y'all. I don't know how many times I got left, but let me tell you, There's a reason that old bitch was living in that shoe. Yeah. I think it was part security system, to keep people from fucking with her, because if she let her shit get that bad, what's she gonna do to you, Second thing is the kids, they be fucking shit up already. So let's beat them to the punch, Yeah. And then the bottom layer of that shoe, I think, is her den where everything's really cool and pretty and straight,
Yeah.
Yeah. And she can have the kids trade off, come down there if they behave themselves. Like it's this whole thing because she can't spank them. I mean, it really fucking sucks, Yeah. But anyways, I think there's a lot of fucking hidden gems in those fucking fairy tales. So y'all need to stay safe, take your birth control, and stay out of the parenthood. Have a good night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Paula Maddox, ladies and gentlemen, came back swinging for the fences. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I know.
How about a hand for that neighbor? Come on.
Hey.
No, she's got her own.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
That's what I call infrastructure.
I tried to work out how much it would cost me to run an Ethernet cable from DC to California. I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you.
You're right. Yeah.
Dude, I need to do a fundraiser, y'all, because this bitch could be hustling, man. It'd be easier to ride the internet than the pole.
It's true.
I'm disabled.
Just start a GoFundMe for your Wi-Fi.
I was going to, but I'm like, bitch, how bad you gotta be, man? Like, you can't handle your shit? No, I can't handle my shit. Obviously.
There's a lot.
Fucking kids need you.
That's all right. It's okay. The kids come first. That's what I say.
Since when, Mike?
What?
Since when? I mean, yes, of course, you've always said that.
Right.
No,
Yeah, but does it have to take so long to grow the dumb out of them, Mike? That's my question.
I don't know. I'll let you know when I have.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Haven't
I
grown
missed y'all.
the mine yet, so.
It's family's first after comedy, right?
Sure.
Now I'm just depressed. Because I'm thinking about my kids. She's doing a great job and a saintly job raising a second family. I'm like, I got two, and they had every advantage, and they're still.
You still have that goldfish, though, right, Mike?
Send them in my hood, Mike. I'll straighten them up.
You know the joke? You know the joke I used to do?
I don't.
Like when your kid is born, you're supposed to believe there's supposed to be a new chamber in your heart that opens up that you didn't even know you had.
Mm-hmm.
It's total bullshit. It's just to suck people into having kids. Paula can back me up on this.
Yeah, it's just your asshole slamming shut on all the shit you ever wanted to do.
Yeah, and then there's when I had my first kid, and they made me or allowed me to give my kid his first bath.
Mm-hmm.
This 7-pound, this beautiful 7-pound, 8-ounce little thing, and I said, "Great, now I got to keep this thing alive." I never had a goldfish that lasted a month.
Oh man.
It's a whole bit. My backyard was the Arlington National Cemetery of hamsters.
Right. That would explain why your child had an underwater castle, I guess.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
That's important.
But these things are all. But that's not why. That's not why I thought
He was terrified of
brought you all here
toilet
tonight
flushing
so
noise.
so that we could listen to this next performer perform, and the performer after that, and the performers that have come before them. That's why you're here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Not to listen to my bullshit.
Oh, I love your
I'm
bullshit.
glad to see that none of you have, because I haven't heard a fucking peep the entire time I've been talking.
I've had enough.
It's all right. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I thought you were muted. I'm sorry.
I don't need your approval. I've been told I suck by people with real talent. Our next performer comes to us from Philadelphia, and also comes to us from finishing a show that she just did earlier this evening.
Wow.
And now she's going to perform for you guys. Her name is Danny Rydell, and you'll love her. Order.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for having me. So I guess I should tell you guys a little bit about what it's like on the other side of this issue, as I do not have kids. And I have to say one thing about it. I am 40 years old and I am married. And as such, I have apparently violated some kind of social contract by not reproducing. I've yet to meet one person who seems okay with the decision. Even social media is fucking after me about it. Every time I go on Facebook now, and more often, the closer and closer I get to, I'm like 39 and 2/3 or whatever, but listen to how immature I am that I'm including a fraction. Okay. But the closer I get to 40, the more I see targeted ads in my Facebook feed for fertility treatments. Because as you all know, without my uterus, I would be a worthless shell of a human being.
Yes.
Please, are you fucking kidding me, Facebook? Give me a fucking break. I can't make a fucking decision not to have children. No, apparently I can't. I'm a bartender. I've been a bartender for 22 years. And ever since I got married, especially, and the closer I get to 40, people are always just like constantly asking me about it. And I hear the same shit over and over again. You're going to regret it. It's different when it's your kid, you know? And the best one I think I ever heard was, Danny, if you don't have children, you or your husband are going to die alone. I just went, oh my God, that upset me, you guys. I went home that night weeping and just like, embraced my husband, and I just cried and said to him, oh my God, baby, I think we need to change something about our agreement here that we made when we got married. I need you to outlive me. But seriously, the fertility treatment ads piss me off. They piss me off because they are minimizing my role as a human being. I suppose, though, it's kind of a nice reminder, at least, that like I'm not too old to get pregnant. More so, it's a very nice reminder that I'm too old to get pregnant by accident. It just, God damn it, it makes me mad, though. I just wish everyone, like, can you all please stop focusing on my uterus? My tits are up here. And you know what else? Fuck Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos went to space. Yeah, Jeff Bezos barely went to space. Please. He went barely inside space for 11 minutes. That's like if any one of us were to fly to Spain or whatever and hang out in the airport for 11 minutes and then come home and brag for the next 10 years to all of our friends about our vacation in Barcelona. Fuck Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos rode his own giant schlong into space. Something no woman has ever done. This fucking guy. Seriously, I respect him for one thing only. Rocking the lazy eye like a boss. Gotta give him credit for that. But this guy has wronged so many people and has the balls to put his workers in situations where they have to urinate into water bottles. And then he comes home from space and thanks them for making it possible. Like, how do you get back at this asshole? I want to hurt this asshole, but guys, how do you emasculate someone? How do you hurt someone who has $187 billion? With him, I figured it out. Because Jeff Bezos, you and I have something in common. We are both Star Trek fans, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to seduce you. I am going to seduce Jeff Bezos. I'm not going to have sex with him, but I'm going to seduce him. I am going to get very close to him, and I am going to stroke his bald head and run my fingers down his chest. And then when I am just pressed up against him and I can feel his throbbing average-sized erection against my thigh, I'm just going to whisper sensuously in his ear, Jeff Bezos, you will never be Jean-Luc Picard. And he will never get an erection ever again. All right, that's all I'm going to try out tonight, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm Danny Rydell.
Hey.
Danny Rydell, ladies and gentlemen, she's got a boner to pick with Jeff.
Oh,
See what I did there, folks, for you
I
kids
saw.
just starting out.
what did you do?
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
I said something that wasn't funny right after I finished the meeting. Why? Because I'm a palate cleanser. I don't see myself as a humorist. I see myself as a little bit of French cheese that you eat between tasting different wines. I
Sort of
stink.
the smegma comedy.
I stink. Not that kind of cheese.
No, he's definitely the goat.
You don't buy on cheese, you buy on apples, right? Come on.
Yeah, I know what you do. Don't try to fucking tell me what to do. Chip, I was all set to talk about how great you were and you're so patient and all that shit.
Oh, you're gonna lie again? Is that
Not
what you're gonna-
anymore, my friend. Because you corrected me on what to do when you're drinking wine. So great.
Ooh.
Hey, here's a guy who's more sophisticated than me and also funnier. And I don't feel bad about it. I'm glad.
not going on again.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. All right? Jesus Christ. You bottomless pits of need. Here is from Washington, D.C. or the environs. I don't know. I don't know if he lives in the city. I don't know. Is it a city? Or is it some kind of weird ass protectorate like Puerto Rico, where that girl that won the race said she lived her whole life in the United States. Her mom's Puerto Rican, so she runs for Puerto Rico. She wins a gold. That's a gold we were supposed to have. Sorry, got a little hot with you. I apologize. I hope this doesn't make you like Chipp Jones any less. Chip, please, come on, bring us home.
Oh my God, it's horrible. A white guy trying to steal Latino's gold. That's an old story. It's an old story. Danny, good to
The
see you.
Latino stealing a white guy's gold. Excuse me.
Danny is a Star Trek fan, so I think she should lean into the childless life. You should have fun with that. When friends try to hand you their babies, you do that Klingon thing where you go, oh no, sorry, no thanks, I'm a vegetarian. Lean into it. And I want to thank Mike again for putting the black guy at the end of the list. That's and I'm sad that
400
Michael,
years and counting.
I know, I'm sad that Michael left the room because I felt a kindred spirit with him when he was talking about being bullied and the twin bullies, because when I was in grade school I was bullied too, but I was bullied by a girl. She just happened to be my mother, but it was just horrible. It was horrible. Speaking of my mom was the kind of person who would always have ideas and tell people how they should live their life, but her life was always in chaos, And I remember once she told me, you and your dad should open up a restaurant. You guys should just get in a restaurant business. I'm like, Mom, Dad's a surgeon. She's like, well, surgery, a lot of time that's elective, but people always have to eat. I was like, Dad's a trauma surgeon. People aren't choosing to have his surgery from him. It's generally, what they need at the time. But she was the daughter of the ambassador of the United States from Haiti. She was a rich girl from a poor country. And she grew up like Mike did, in that greatest generation, World War II generation that knew scarcity, so she was the kind of person, that always collected everything, didn't want to let anything go by and, always wanted the most. In fact, as a baby, people used to say that she would feed me till I threw up, kind of like those people you see at the gas station that just keep pumping gas into their car until it overflows the tank, because they just want to make sure they get every possible bit of gasoline in there. And she was a QVC buyer, always buying stuff off of QVC. I went over one day to her house and she had 4 hot dog steamers. And I was like, Mom, 4 hot dog steamers? Are you having some kind of midnight hot dog parties I don't know about? She's like, quit it. Stop doing that. I know what you're doing. You're writing a joke. and it's probably a dirty joke. Why can't you write clean material? You know, so you can be on TV like Bill Cosby. You know, look how that turned out. But you know, like I said, I mean, she was always about collecting stuff, and I was always the go-to person. Like she would call me and say, I need you to come take me to the store. They got corn on for 6 cents off a can with a limit of 6 cans. And I'm like, Mom, it's like a 2-hour drive there and back. How about next time I see you, I give you $1? I don't need your money. I don't need your money. You know? And then she's mad for days, you know, grumbling, you know, costing me money, costing me money. But when she had her last trip to the oncologist and she decided that she wasn't going to fight the cancer, you know, she's in her 70s and didn't want to be spending the last months just feeling horrible. I took her to the store after the doctor's visit, and when you know, corn was on sale, 6 cents off a can, 6 can limit. You know, we both busted out laughing. After she passed, though, it became my wife and I's duty to clean up after her. You know, get all of her stuff from her basement and her house and stuff. And we found tons of stuff. I mean, hundreds of dresses that, you know, had never been worn. You know, still had tags on them and plastic over them. And I mean, these dresses were old. I mean, I knew they were old because they had really high hemlines and they came with matching go-go boots. I mean, it was crazy. And at one point in the basement, my wife yells over to me. She goes, "There's a box of dirt over here marked Poppy." And I said, "Oh, no, that's not dirt. Those are ashes. My mom had a dog named Poppy and she had it cremated. So those are ashes." She goes, "There's one marked Sarah." I said, "Yeah, that was another one of her dogs." She said, "There's a really big one here marked Caroline. What kind of dog was Caroline?" I'm like, "Caroline? Caroline was my grandmother." I mean, what is she doing in the basement? She's supposed to be in a crypt in California. But I'll be honest with you, I got a box in my basement marked Claire, my mom's name. So, you know. Ashes are a weird thing. I had a friend from Canada who lived in the United States for 30 years. He recently passed, and his family's gotten an argument over where he was going to be buried. Where his ashes going to be in Canada, where they're going to be in the United States, you know. And it dawned on me, somebody needs to make like a clear see-through urns, you know, so that families could divide up the ashes. You know, you can layer them. You know, you have a bit of grandpa for everybody, a bit of grandma, you know. Uncle Ned, you know, sort of like a sand art for your family, you know. have it up on the fireplace. Everybody can come by and visit, you know. But I know it could get awkward, you know, for some families, you know, when they go over to a white person's house and they got this band of really ebony colored ashes. It's like, oh, yeah, looks like there's a little ink in that well. So I don't know, but. I think that's probably about my time, isn't it, Mike? I appreciate you having me on.
It is pretty much your time, but I was enjoying it so much right up until the white guy joke at the end. Oh no, I mean, you know,
I have to poke fun at you because you guys own everything, right? You know, so I mean, it's like,
why is that so wrong?
We paid for a lot of it.
You know, okay, we have all the money, but you know, it's a symbiotic relationship. We let you build it. I don't see why we have to take all the bad publicity for that. All right. See, I do that, and I side somehow with the slave owners when my people never owned a slave in the entire 600 years that we've been here.
Just couldn't get the money together, huh?
Pardon me?
Be patient, Mike.
It wasn't a question of.
Oh, that's illegal now. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not illegal. You just have to own an NFL franchise.
I just promoted something in the chat, Mike. I'm in the Burbank Comedy Festival. I think Danny's in it too. Aren't you in it, Danny?
No.
No. Wait a minute. How'd that happen?
I went to LA in June and ran out of money.
Oh.
He was going to be in it. She auditioned for it, but when they found out that Danny was not a boy's name, they said, "Oh, you're white, but you're not." Okay. Anyway, I don't care. It was wrong in every way to say that. It was wrong in every way to say that. I just fucked up. So anyway, we had a good show tonight. You guys were good, and Chuck.
I think we scared Michael off, though. Did we scare Michael off? I don't know.
I don't think we scared him off. I think we just He just, I think he came here to promote some stuff.
Really?
He kept it pretty close to the vest, but I'm reasonably
Yeah.
sure
Wait,
that he had some stuff.
We managed to squeeze that out of him. I know.
He managed. He's,
I'm still scrolling some of his promotions. Hold on a second. I'm almost done.
I quit scrolling when I saw he didn't have T-shirts. You know what the hell?
All right.
Yes, right.
Hey,
I
y'all.
think that'd be great when it's the merch. It's selling merch on the Zoom call. Anyway, what?
I want to share a story with the class.
Okay.
I
by the
was
way-
a bully.
You were
When I
bullied?
was
You were a
little.
bully?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, come to find out, when you're being thumped on, you tend to thump on others. I didn't know that when I was 6 or 7 or 8, you know. But there was this guy, this kid, every Wednesday I used to take his ice cream because it was ice cream day.
Sure.
So bad. It went on for a long time too.
And I
got
still
a-
let you on my Zoom show.
That's right.
Well, get this, and then one day he kept telling his mom, and she didn't believe him, that he was getting beat up by a girl. They were a Latino family, so you know. And then one day I ripped his shirt.
Oh.
Did he
And
call
he
you
brought her
Mad
to the
Maddox?
house.
Did he call you Mad Maddox?
No, I think they called her sitting
No.
bully.
Piece of shit is what
all
they
right.
called me.
That's
But,
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Canceled.
So
Canceled.
anyone can
I'm
reform.
tweeting that out right now.
Sitting
Don't,
bully.
Chip. Don't. Let me work on my set first so I can land it right. Okay. Thanks.
All right. That's good.
Sorry, I just bumped my knee and it's wounded. Sorry.
Oh, easy now. Easy now. We don't need to get all stereotypical yet.
Now,
Let's do that for later.
Alan, you don't know
story, though.
Paula well enough to do that.
I know, but true story. I actually did courtroom sketches at the Wounded Knee trial. That's not a joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
I sat next to Marlon Brando. Yep.
He wasn't paid for it or anything. He just liked to draw.
That's right. Yeah.
He was very supportive of the Native community. So hope you were there as a pro, not a con.
Well, my dad's an FBI agent, so I'm half and half.
Well, yeah, I get it. Tricky subject.
I actually recently, and this is true also, I actually recently spoke with Sasheen Littlefeather.
Are you serious?
I'm totally serious. She's the one who turned down the award at the Oscars.
No, she accepted the award that Brando turned down.
Well, she didn't accept anyway. But we talked.
She spoke. on
She
his
turned it
behalf,
down.
right.
We talked
She
for
made
an
the
hour.
speech.
We talked for an hour and a half. She has a new film coming out. About
what? About the incident?
No, because what happened is after she was trying to promote positive imagery for minorities, and the FBI came around and said, if you work with her, we will shut you down.
Oh my God.
She's got a documentary coming out. Yeah.
Shit.
Yep. So.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, buddy.
Do we not end the official end of the show with a funny photo?
Yes.
And so I'm thanking all the acts, and we need to do a little funny photo. We're gonna.
I thought that was me.
Yeah.
No.
Paula,
that's-
come on screen, Paula.
Oh God! I just heard David Zasloff just came in and I wanted to know if it was too late to get on. So what do we think, guys?
Your show.
Show's over.
Your
Chuck?
show.
No, Chuck is in extremis.
We're approaching maximum for the podcast.
Okay.
That would be a great time to wrap.
It's a good time. Okay, so let's put it on gallery view and do some kind of weird ass picture, and then we call it a night. And can you still let people stick around and chat a little if they want to, Chuck?
Yeah, everybody just do the elk horns.
Elk horn.
Oh, all right.
1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Wait, I was doing jazz hands. Oh.
It's still going to be a funny photo. Thanks to everybody who listens on the podcasts and
Everybody,
such, and watches on
everybody
the
west of the
YouTube.
Hudson will think you're doing elk.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. If anyone want to help with my internet,